The shot is Carolina. Hey, what do you say?
Talkin' Sauce, episode 65. Ready or not, here we come.
6'5".
Dylan, get off your phone and show some respect, dude.
Got your fucking. We're back, dude. Fucking NHL Playoffs are back, dude. Come on, let's go.
Dude, how do we kick him from the chat? I don't like this
Dude,
level
he's
of
the host.
disrespect going on, dude.
What kind
I
of
don't like this at all.
dictatorship bullshit is this?
I
This is
know,
horseshit.
dude. Sitting there on his fucking. Oh, he stopped my video.
Oh, he just shut.
He can't,
Oh.
dude. I don't like this. The power move.
This is a cold world.
I won't stand for this.
This is horseshit. This is absolutely bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna start my video. The host asked me to start my video. What kind of disrespect? I was already started my video. Zoom.
Welcome to Talkin' Sauce, episode 65. Ready or not, here we go. All right. How we doing, guys?
This
How's
is
our
the
week
most
been?
disrespectful shit I have ever witnessed. I'm going to smack the taste out of your mouth. This is awful. Yo.
So how's
So
our week
fucked
been,
up.
guys?
Dude.
Better than that. Way better than that moment. The shade. Man, just living in the shade. Nah, man, week was all right. Got day off tomorrow. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. Shouts
Memorial
out.
Day.
Appreciate the troops. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
remembrance.
Y'all doing anything big for it?
Staying
maybe
inside
not
a little
big,
bit.
but
Staying
Staying
inside just a little
inside.
bit. Just a little
little
bit because
bit.
quarantine's like kind of over, sort of, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Not really,
I
but
feel
sort
it.
of.
you got a deck,
Still not
though.
safe,
you can go on
but
a
you
deck,
can-
you know what I'm saying?
You can get a haircut. You can go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying?
It's
For
true.
real.
I need to get a haircut. I can do that. I need to schedule that. I didn't do it like off gate because I assumed it was just going to be like a 2-week waiting period anyway. Just
Mhm.
and I'm a pessimistic
All right.
procrastinator. So, but you know, all that, and I have depression. So
No.
How long do you think we could just stay quiet, and how deep do you think Joshua would have gotten with like the just talks like out of depression? And really, I guess
man,
I don't like being around people that much.
you
at
get me
all.
going. I just start telling truths. I just can't
It
stop.
really
thinking
Just
depends.
start
things.
spiraling.
That's
whole-
how
I
he's really feeling that day.
He's like an hour later, and so that's pretty much everything I've got, boys. So what's on the schedule today?
I'm just emotionally open. That's all it is.
Okay, I like that's a positive spin on it. You see, it's a less
I'm emotionally
pessimistic spin
available to you guys
Aw,
and our audience.
not his wife. Not his wife. Keeps it all shut in from his wife, locked off.
There's nothing left. There's just nothing left. For me.
It's like, babe, I give it all to these people. I give my all. I give my all. I'm doing everything I can. I pour my soul out for an hour.
My heart and my soul. Oh shit.
man.
Fucking. So what else is going on?
Fucking
I'll tell you what I'm
nothing.
doing. I'm
What's up,
fucking
man?
puppy sitting. I got a dog, and I'm watching Megan's friend's fucking little dog. This little bastard has pissed and shitted all inside my house many times.
Good stuff.
Damn.
Many times. Let me tell you something else happened today. This was crazy. So, so I don't know what kind of morning you guys had, but before 9 a.m., Megan asked Alexa to play the new Baby and Megan Thee Stallion song,
Okay.
and this white woman was in my face spitting Megan and Baby bars like it was a rap battle,
Yeah, you lost.
just going off
Well, yeah, man. It's Megan, dude.
That's
Meg
hilarious.
the Stallion, bro.
for real. So
What's the
Shouts
name of
out.
the new song, dude?
I couldn't tell you. It's like the new one. It's the new popular. There's like a video for it, I think. It's like the one they have together.
Mm.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like the new Megan Baby Drive. I don't know it, but I think it's like a new hot song they just put out. I don't know it though.
Yeah, I've never
It's a
heard you
bop.
sound more old, dude. Dude, it's like the new hot song, dude. It's like it's them. There's a video. It's on MTV.
What do you want? What do you want from me? Like, I don't know the name. I've seen thumbnails all over the place for it. I know they put out a song recently.
This shit's hilarious.
Sorry, dude. Sorry I don't have my fucking sway voice on for you right now. Sorry I'm not giving it to you like fucking
I
the new
want to hear
hot.
the new shit, dude.
Sorry I'm not giving you the fucking hot 97 take on it, dude.
I want a full
Jesus.
breakdown. Do you want a lyrical breakdown of it?
This isn't genius, dude.
Yeah,
This
for
is
that, ask
Lyrical
Megan.
Lemonade. What do you want from me? Say again?
Except for that, you ask Megan for the lyrical breakdown.
It's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
Josh don't know shit, dude.
Dude, you guys should start a hip
See-
hop channel, dude.
Megan's like, when Miss Stallion says that she's thick,
She ain't lying.
she ain't lying.
That's what Megan says.
That's what's going. Yeah, that's what's going on in my world. Puppies pissing and shitting all over my apartment, and loud rap music. So it's lit out here.
There you
Dude,
go.
shouts out, man.
There you
We
go.
got tomorrow off, dude. I'm just so stoked on that. I go back to work Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
You, Jacob?
Like into the office? Nah, not yet.
I fucking hate you.
We go back beginning of June.
June. Good luck.
Beginning-
Oh, I guess that's like
It's not
next
that
week.
long. Yeah, it's not that long.
Dude, shouts out May not existing this year.
Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically didn't happen. Did you have a May? I didn't have a May.
Nope. My year is gonna start when we go back to work. That's when it's gonna be January 1st.
I remember more Warzone wins this month than I do days this month.
That makes sense. That makes
We've been
sense.
playing a lot of Warzone.
Much but Warzone.
Playing a fair amount.
A fair amount is one way to put it.
One way. Play a
One way
lot
to
of
put it.
Warzone.
Play a lot of Warzone.
Probably on average, I'm probably getting. I mean, to be honest, like there's some days where I don't play it at all. Probably a couple days. No, facts, because no one's available, and I don't play solos. So
That many times. He's playing solos.
I don't, dude. I really don't play solos.
Waiting to get some responses. You know what I'm saying? He has 2 or 3 different
My
groups.
KD's too precious to me, dude. KD's too precious. Like solos is too anxiety inducing. Low key though, we went off the other day. Fucking
Yeah, I saw
had
that
like a team,
snap where you were
like a 40
hyped.
team squad kill, dude.
Nice.
We weren't playing. Yeah, we weren't playing.
You
Next
get,
game, I had like a 9-10 piece, but we got like 20 place or something like that. We got absolutely wiped. I just love that game. It's a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun playing with the boys. Fucking trying to pull the schedule. Anything else going on in your guys' world before we get into?
Dude, ain't got nothing going on, bro.
nothing crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just raising this puppy. Fucking. Shit.
Yep, you were
Small
supposed to come
child.
over yesterday with it, but you're a flake. I feel it. I hated doing creative stuff with you too, so it's all good. Can't blame you.
Like we ain't set up to do it tomorrow. Like fucking.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going into work tomorrow.
Oh.
Yo, also too, it sucks. Speaking of Dylan sucking, I'm at a storm bruise, dude.
Damn.
I
Damn.
drank all 48 and fuckers.
Was it worth it?
Yes, 1,000% yes. It took a few days of day drinking to get it done, but we got it done.
You
So
got there. You
I'm
did
gonna
the
need
job.
some more of that. Cody, I think has more. I'm pretty much gonna.
Run up
Trade
and
his
run
place.
down on him.
Mhm. Yep.
Run up
Go
and
for
run
it.
down, dude.
We're not just gonna slide. We're going to slide.
Yeah.
So. It's gonna be good. Speaking of sliding on them. Speaking of episode 65, big shouts out Eric Carlson.
Carlson.
Yep. With the looking mad French.
What is with the low energy, dude? What
Dude, I don't know, man.
Is it,
I don't
that
know,
you
bro.
just woke up? You just woke
No, I
up?
woke up an hour ago now, you know what I'm saying? I got to get the good stretch in. You know what I'm saying? Got to get all the sleep out your spine, bro.
Dylan, you
Is that what it
wake
is?
up a lot earlier than you ever used to.
I mean.
Now, you want to talk about something this fucking whole quarantine thing's done, dude? It has fucked my sleep schedule. I already sleep like shit. I can't like if it came down to like you gotta get to sleep or you're gonna die, like it would be tough, you know what I'm saying? It come down to the wire. I don't know if I'd be able to pull that one out. But with this whole quarantine thing, dude, it's just like now that all I've done is be inside, like, nah, I can't. Dude, I can't sleep at all, bro.
I used to
can't
sleep really
at
well.
all.
I used to go to bed like no later than 10 o'clock at the latest. You know, like even on some weekend nights, I stopped going out like a few years ago because that's just a waste of money and time. I'm married. Like no point in that. Watch all my friends not get laid. Like, it's so super boring. Can't hear shit. Everything's sticky. Like everywhere you walk, it's just sticky as fuck. There's glass and spilled drinks everywhere.
It sounds like you guys only hung out at fucking what's the place? Cornerstone.
You know, yeah,
Cornerstone. Dude, doesn't say I ran into Jared there.
Yeah. Well,
Shouts out Jared.
Low key, fucking
Cornerstone sucks, dude. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Cornerstone
it doesn't
sucks.
suck. I mean, and it was cool.
Sucks.
We always were able to like cut lines and stuff. So we had to hook up.
Oh, you got Cornerstone, bro. That's wild, bro.
It's actually not the lag out.
Bro, can't cut those lines to the fucking bars though, dude.
No, we can't go in a bar.
Can't go in a bar.
You know, I feel like super like self-conscious ever doing that because like hot girls get in, cut lines or whatever, and then I'm with someone who like knows either like the owner or the bouncer, luckily, and then you like walk in behind the girls and the other people in line are looking at you like
what did this guy do?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Wait till I get inside. Wait till I get inside.
But I hate that shit. I hate doing anything like that. So shouts out Quarantine.
Cornerstone's the fucking apex legends of bars, bro.
That is
way too many people. They're better at it than me, and I leave
is
not that fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
hilarious. That's like every going out experience for me is the Apex Legends of that. Like that is so fucking funny.
I like that whole vibe of like Cornerstone. I can't get with it.
It's a vibe.
I can't
to put it mildly. It's a vibe.
I can't get with it. Just cannot get with it.
It's like it almost has its own like nightly bingo checklist.
Yeah, just like all right,
There's got to be a fight. There's got to be like a random dance battle. And that,
someone's
got to
pee in the corner. Someone's got to just be pissing in the corner because
it's always sticky.
It's and
one of those fires like catches something like all those little fire pits catch something else on fire.
People are inevitably sticking their hands in the little fires, and people got to tell them to stop.
They open up like they open a random bar like next to a bathroom just to keep the service.
Yeah,
for
real.
Keep up with the demand. There's like that. Dylan, I don't know if you've ever been there. There's like 9 bars all around it. Like in fact, I'm exaggerating, but there's a Cornerstone, but there's a bar like at every corner. Kind of is like
right.
It's really just a game of finding your fucking friends. You go to get a drink. That's and then it's like,
though.
And then you're like, yeah, but with Cornerstone, it's that big ass circle,
fucking labyrinth.
Yeah, and you're just like you're walking around with your drinks like above your head as to not bump people, and you're like, excuse me. And you're just like, you're like looking. It's like, okay, well, they were just by that table. It seems all 8 people I was with have relocated somehow, and then you just find it's a shit show. It's all a shit show.
A lot of forced table sharing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, there's space.
The problem
right
is
there.
that there's only so many tables. They're massive, so there's like 20 seats at a table. You don't have 20 people with you.
No, you're just
share
sharing.
the fuck out of that table. And then you can clearly see that divider, that social divider of like, no, we're not fucking with them.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of you start talking to each other. Yeah. Maybe you mix and mingle, but yeah, it's good.
Like, aha, see, this guy gets it. Right. Yeah. And then, that's as deep as it gets. And then we all go
or
home
fight breaks out.
Unfulfilled.
I don't like you're using that word.
Unfulfilled, dude. You just go home and feel like, man, I don't know what I was trying to accomplish by going out tonight, but I definitely didn't get it done. I don't know what it was.
You were trying to get laid.
Well,
not every time.
Maybe you weren't trying to get laid, but you're definitely like, if you're single and you're out there, like in the back of your mind, you're hoping it happens.
Oh yeah, I could say the same thing about fucking Harris Teeter on like 3:00 on a Tuesday. Like I'm not trying to get laid, but
no, for real,
if I'm walking through and someone's like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing about you either. If I'm at a streetlight and a really, really attractive woman pulls up next to me at the streetlight and rolls down her window and looks at me and says, "Do you want a blowjob?" I mean, I'm married, like that's what I'm gonna say no. But like, and if I was single, or a single guy would never not say that. Like, oh, I guess I have to go. No, look at the time. I don't have time for this. That's not gonna happen. So, yeah, no, I feel you there. But what I'm saying is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're trying then. Like, I'm saying you're not trying, but you're trying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck Cornerstone. That's what we're getting at. Erik Karlsson.
Speaking of 65.
Speaking of a guy who get laid at Cornerstone.
Speaking of all 65 times that Jacob's been denied at Cornerstone, big shouts out Erik Karlsson. Yeah, he was drafted 15th overall, kind of a late pick in the first round by Ottawa. No one really knew. Ottawa knew. A lot of people knew of the talent, but people kind of had him down. The whole small defenseman thing.
Yeah.
It followed him into his draft, but ended up being one of the most prolific, smooth skating, agile offensive defensemen of our generation. You know what I mean? Compared to some of the best to ever do it. So yeah, big shouts out Erik Karlsson in that regard. In his career so far, guy's got 736 games under his belt until the pause happened. 135 goals. I think is he still injured this season anyway?
It's a good question.
Not sure. Should look that up. Shouts out the shirt in the making. But 468 assists in those 736 games. Almost just over 600 points, 603. I mean, what a beast for a defenseman.
Monster.
Have such a high points per game. That obviously speaks volumes. He carried Ottawa to that Eastern Conference Finals back in 2017 against Pittsburgh, all on like one ankle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Was that the one where who was it that was arguing over who had to cover him in overtime? Was that?
I'm not sure.
I think it was L.A., but it was like I can't remember. But it was like Doughty and who's their old captain?
Dustin Brown,
like arguing over who had to cover him in overtime just because like he's so fucking like skating with him's impossible. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, the dude's outstanding. Yeah, and that conference final, he was pretty much on one ankle. He had a serious injury, which now he's like, I think his ankle's like robotic, dude. It's like things pretty much made of metal.
And I'm looking it up. It says he's healthy now.
Man, now he's healthy.
It says he's healthy now. So maybe he was hurt at the end of the
I can't quite remember. But that playoff run, he had 18 points in 19 games, 16 assists. That playoff run, dude. So just absolutely stunned by Pittsburgh, shut them down, dude. They probably could have done it, to be honest. Even though he was hurt, he probably wouldn't even have played the next round. But it is what it is. He won the Norris Trophy 2 times, 2012, 2016. That 2012 run, he had 79 points in 81 games. Outstanding. 66 points in 82 games the 2015 year. Oddly enough, the next season, he had 82 points in 82 games in 2016, but Doughty won the Norris that year with like 55 points.
Interesting. But that goes back to the whole, Norris is the best defenseman. How heavy do points weigh in that? Too?
And it kind of shits on the argument people make where, the defenseman with the most points wins.
It seems
they gave it to Doughty that year.
Yeah, it seems to be continually trending that way, but
it does. And it was almost like they gave it to Doughty that year as like you haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
So here's your Norris because we don't know who to give it to.
Yeah.
He was like a plus like 20 something, which obviously no one gives a fuck about plus minus. But just throwing it out there.
It is a thing.
If you're a defenseman, it fucking means a little bit. Goddamn. There's only 60. You play like fucking 20 minutes a night. If you're a -3, you fucking suck a little bit. Like that game, goddamn. But yeah, big shouts out 65. Big shouts out Karlsson, dude. He's the GOAT. The NHL PA voted. The players voted. They're in agreement for the 24-team format.
And it's not final yet. They just agreed,
right.
Like let's go ahead and
let's go ahead forward with this.
Yeah, with this.
Yeah. But the players are on board. I think that's the biggest hurdle in terms of getting anything done.
Yeah.
And they're on board. So to kind of lay it out just roughly, teams are going to play a 5-game best of 5 first round play-in round. The Hurricanes are part of that. We'll be playing the Rangers. Just trying to remember it off top. Toronto plays Columbus. Florida plays Philly, Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I know Washington, Boston, maybe Pittsburgh too, maybe even Philly. Maybe those are the 4 teams with the buys. And then like almost everyone else in the East is going to have a chance to play in. I know Montreal is going to have a chance to play in. Chicago is going to have a chance to play in against, I think, Vancouver. And that's the interesting thing that Chicago has a shot, dude. Scary that you have a team
Yeah.
with that kind of playoff experience, with that kind of rest.
I think Montreal, they still got Carey Price in that. That's the kind of guy who can take over a playoff segment for you. Guy like Carey Price. They only had 17 regulation wins out of 71 games played in the regular season. 9 of those came in the first 10 games. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, what
Is
is
that
that?
your Alexa?
I was fucking. We'll Google Home, but yeah, I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all.
You
know,
I've
it's
been
just
telling you to
listen.
keep that shit unplugged when you're not using it, dude.
Nah, dude, not me. I want them to know.
As much as I use my Alexa, if I had to plug it back in every time I wanted to use it, I would go crazy. I use that thing all the
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I keep my phone
everything.
next to me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the real difference? I'm
The
also
Alexa stays on.
talking
during
into a
sex.
microphone right now, so just talking to a microphone into Zoom, dude.
The NSA is our biggest listener.
NSA is everyone's business.
Mm-hmm. They're in on all the
Exactly.
bits.
They're your number one fan. Remember that. Everyone's so worried about attention and views. They're watching.
Let's get into Big Brother, dude.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Let's talk about the Canes playing the Rangers. It's a scary thought.
People are pissed. People seem to be pretty upset about it.
They kind of had our number in the regular season.
Yep.
You're pissed?
I'm pissed. I'm not really that pissed. I mean, like, it sucks.
There's lag. There's all kinds of lag.
Oh, my bad.
Trash.
It definitely
It's your fault.
it sucks that we made the playoff cut and the Rangers obviously didn't at the time that the season stopped. So the fact that
Also, at the same time, I feel you. Like that pisses me off. That would piss any playoff bound team off, any fan base off. Definitely, a guy has to upset the players. At the same time, I can side with the side of but we're in a time where everything's out of our control.
it is what it is.
This is truly just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm glad to have some form of hockey back at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm a little upset that we are in the position to not make the playoffs based off a best of 5, where in any other situation we would have had back-to-back playoff appearances after a strong. It's just like it's all you can really say is just like everything else with this. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah,
Very
super
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
Could be worse.
Definitely. It is funny to think, though, that Toronto could win. Just all those tweets, Toronto could win what is technically like a playoff series and then still get bounced in the first round by Boston. Like, it's still that is still entirely possible this year. I think that shit is hilarious.
For real. I saw that tweet that they could win a round and still lose to Boston in the first. It's so good.
And Buffalo's still not going to make it.
Yeah, they're fucked. Back to the Canes and the Rangers too. Just looking more at that matchup, the fact that they had us all regular season long beat. We had the Caps had us beat all last year, and we still beat them in 7 games. I don't think that's the same sort of dynamic being the us versus the Rangers.
Yeah.
It just that's something to remember.
Yeah.
But it's a really good team, and they had a lot of momentum coming into the pause. Panarin was looking hot. Zibanejad was playing out of his mind. Who's their goaltender? Is it still Talbot?
It's Lundqvist and is it Georgiev?
Don't
they have Shesterkin and
that's it? Yeah.
Georgiev or whatever. Because they have a real interesting
backup.
New York has a real interesting situation going into the next year as to whether or not they're going to keep Lundqvist around, because Lundqvist, Georgiev and Shesterkin are both pretty young. I think they're both like 24, 25, both pretty high upside. They're a scary team, and next year them figuring that shit out.
If they had a better defense, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, some would argue getting rid of Brady Shea made him better on defense. I don't argue that. I disagree, but
I think when you're a team like the Rangers are, with the fans that they have, you're never going to catch them
taking an L.
Yeah.
Admitting to taking an L, which
Exactly.
I'm not saying they did take an L trading Shea either, but I don't think you get better moving on from him per se.
You don't.
But
I think they would even agree that he was like poorly used.
yeah, definitely. But so I guess it was the Hurricanes and Tampa Bay were the only two teams that voted no on the which is kind of where all the vitriol towards New York or between New York and us started online was New York fans coming out saying that you know what? Actually, no. I saw a bunch of tweets from the Hurricanes fans saying like, "Oh, here comes all the Rangers fans saying you're scared to play us in the first round." I didn't see a single Rangers fan sending those tweets. All I saw were Hurricanes fans setting those tweets up with like just to set up that straw man to go against, saying like, "Oh, here comes the New York fans."
Dude,
but I never saw it. Maybe
I
one
did
or
see
two.
it. I did see it. It was there. Hurricanes fans though, we're so trash. We are so petty.
Yeah.
We're so petty. Like I really don't like Rangers fans. Like I genuinely don't come across like diehard Rangers fans. I don't come across many that I'm like, no, like I fuck with you. Like
No.
doesn't happen often. I know some Rangers fans. I don't know, but the diehards are usually dicks. These Hurricanes fans online, man, are something else, dude. They're something else.
They're just
It's
like, and it's like at some point, you know, you have to shed the underdog mentality for people to start taking you seriously. You got to start having an expectation of the team that is more than, you know, we're always
real winners don't say shit.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of tired of people constantly playing the woe is me in regards every team gets talked about.
Or even thinking there's something to prove, or even thinking there's the other extreme where they're trying so desperately to get out of the underdog that they're throwing every single piece of evidence at everyone when it's not necessary.
Yeah,
we had nothing to prove. We're a very, very strong team on the upswing.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens this year, there's still a lot of time for a lot of great things to happen with this franchise. Nothing's on the downturn. Like, everyone just needs to relax.
Dude, so
relax, be friends.
I don't know if this is kind of hopping ahead in the conversation or whatever, but with the playoff format as it possibly is going to be, is it like a 2 hub city thing? Like, do we know
2 to 4? That's the whole thing. That's still totally up in the air as far as, you know, with the number of teams and how that's going to go down. It's way more set in stone than where it's going to be played.
That's potentially like, if they only do all the playoffs in 2 to 4 cities, if it ends up in one team's home city, like you basically could get home ice advantage throughout the entire playoffs. You don't get your fans there because there's going to be no fans. But if you're playing New York in New York, like they know,
locker room,
your locker room, you know how the bounces are coming off all those boards. Like that's your house. Like it makes a difference, I think. But
100% makes a difference. If that's the case, you win a lottery in that regard. You know what I mean? I think you can only help but so much.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just it. Maybe now they know they've agreed on this 2014 playoff format. Once they look at the obvious things like travel, set up, you know, hospitality for the players, the number of cases and rates of that area, you know, is that area good to have this?
Yeah.
Then they're going to say, of those, which ones are already teams in this bitch, and let's eliminate those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I can't see how they get by with it, but who knows? You're right. There's still a lot to figure out, which is the whole thing. Like, back to that whole notion of, I guess all these people saying cancel the season aren't getting what they asked for, quote unquote. But there's still time to figure out how this is actually going to happen, when this is actually going to start. I guess closer to end of June.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's still to be determined. I guess my point is that there's still plenty of time for this to go on for way longer than it ever should have, to then have other negative effects. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I am grateful there will be hockey back, and it's best that they're doing it without fans. The Hurricanes can definitely beat the Rangers in a 5-game series, I think, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely
time out. Dylan. No, you can't just be eating on the microphone, bro. All I can hear now is just like bag crunching.
Are those chips? Are those a bag of chips? Bro got a bag of chips on the pod?
He cut camera, just comes back and just like.
You literally might as well AMSNR with a saltine cracker right now, dude. You really ASMR with. He's trying to find mute. He's just trying to find
he's trying to find mute right now,
That's
bro.
why you ain't saying nothing. You just
trying
can't
to
mute.
trying to find the
Oh my god,
The-
you're
the
despicable.
turn my
worst.
thing down.
The
You're
absolute
just
worst.
the worst, dude.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you
Wow.
off. I'm sorry to cut you
Nah,
off.
it's fine.
Josh.
I'm much more focused on this now. The worst. This guy, man.
How's this?
The absolute worst. We're coming down to the last quarter, the last fourth of the podcast. Man, couldn't wait to eat some chips, bro.
Hold on.
Dude, when the munchies are more important than anything, dude.
Hold on.
He's saying, "Hold on," like we're not in the
Hold
middle
on.
of recording. He's like, "Hold on."
Hold up.
We're mid podcast.
Let me get this audio right so I can keep munching.
How about
Let me
this?
get this audio right so I can not contribute anything.
Oh my god.
This is so good, dude. Like he's like, we're good. Fuck you. Keep
Yeah,
going.
it's so.
Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. This still has to get fully blessed. They still have to figure out where it's going to go down. Yeah, I don't know. Most of the fans don't seem impressed at the end of the day, whether it's our team or other fan bases. Let's talk about this too. Well, let's touch on this notion. If this does come to fruition, whoever wins the Stanley Cup, is there an asterisk with it?
I mean, people like to say the Hurricanes have an asterisk next to our first cup, coming off of the labor disagreement back then too. We were coming out of that, remember?
Well, if people want to do that, then fucking you need to give one for every single shortened season that's there ever's been, which I don't think
some people do.
All those people are fucking assholes.
I mean, I think it depends. It kind of depends on who wins it, I guess. If Boston wins it, probably not an asterisk next to this season's cup. But if Chicago wins it, people are going to say, well, they never would have made it to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
I think you have to look at it based on a few things, right? I mean, it's anyone's opinion. That's just at the end of the day. But I think there's a couple of strong things that help correlate it. Like, there's been shorter seasons. It's happened plenty of times for a number of different reasons. Some more extreme than others. There's been 5-game first rounds before.
Yep.
The playoffs haven't always been 7 game series, 4 rounds. So, there's that. There's definitely that to consider. Teams have won the cup different ways than what we're used to. I think the biggest issue to say that it should not have an asterisk is that there's never been I don't think there's ever been a pause like this where you had to stop mid play
and then come back.
To come back and then determine who's done the best thus far to then come up with what in this case is not even a playoff, but a new tournament.
Yeah. It's a whole new
style
thing.
Based on it's almost like this version of this season of the NHL is like a rushed version of what the Olympics is, where you have a seeding period just to place you in the qualifying for a tournament. You know what I mean? For a bracket elimination style tournament, if you will.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how this is coming out to be. If you frame it in that sense, if you put that sort of lore around it all, then I think you can kind of give this season an asterisk. You can say this wasn't even a season of the NHL. It was an exhibition season followed by a tournament comprised of NHL teams.
Yeah. And there's the teams that are getting a bye, those top 4 whatever are playing each other in the round robin. There's the argument there that they're playing meaningless games. You don't want to you're not going to go out there and play balls to the wall. And you're not going to go out there and play balls to the wall, get hurt before you've even started playing playoff games, And then you have the other teams playing to get in, playing meaningful games, getting geared up, getting up to full game speed, and then are going to go and play against, one of the teams they got to buy. And
they honestly might as well not even play at all if that's what they're doing.
That's what I'm saying. I guess, kind of knock some of the rust off, but it's going to end up looking like the All-Star game out there. Just trying to play real conservative, real safe.
I mean, but at the same time, to be honest, that one's not for us, right? I guess that's what you really got to play the best competition to get back ready, even though it will be nothing like those teams competing for an actual spot.
Yeah. But then, like Cooper was saying down in Tampa, he's like, on some level, you can look at it like when one team gets a sweep in the first round, 4 games, it's over. You're waiting 10 days for another team that plays the 7-game series. And then it's kind of a similar situation where, you don't have the same emotional, carryover from the previous series. You kind of lose a lot of momentum. And it's on the team to find that and to bring that level of intensity no matter like what the situation is.
Yeah. Maybe too, they should have done it more. Maybe they should have done like more of a seeding period where that these are the 24 teams you're going to work with. We can I don't think anyone's mad at the 24 they pick. It's how we're going from here. Maybe let another extension or like another little mini reset of seeding games. I don't know. It's tough.
It's real tough. I think
But where we are.
overall this is going to be really good for the league because this is going to be a lot of exciting hockey happening a lot on television when there's not a lot of sports. Like it's going to be a lot of we're going to jump right into meaningful games.
True.
Most meaningful games.
I think that you're right. It has potential to be very, very impactful for the league. That timeline is going to get thinner and thinner the longer it takes for it to get started. Or
That's true.
Or the benefit of that impact will get smaller and smaller the longer it takes to get ramped up. All back to that point where we say the longer this season takes to end, the more you're going to fuck up next season. That's the hypothesis, but who the fuck knows, man? I don't know, dude.
Yep.
It's
and
wild.
There's the whole argument
back.
about, and the players voted yes, so I guess, on some level it doesn't really matter, but the whole pulling these guys away from their families and putting them in a hotel for fucking 2 months or whatever by themselves is like, I feel like people aren't talking about that. Like some people are talking about it, but I feel like that's really hasn't come into the conversation enough that like you're asking a lot out of these. Yeah, they're getting paid a lot of money, but still like there are new parents and stuff like young new parents that play in the league. Like, and this is a crazy time and you're taking them away from their family during that. So
contractually and obligatory, they're used to being able to go home at the end of every single night. I mean, that's that's their right. That's their human right. That's what they signed up for. So yeah, it puts them in a really, really, really uncomfortable position. So big shouts out to those players for wanting, obviously I think they're doing it a lot for not just the fans. They're definitely doing it for the fans, but they're doing it for themselves in the sense
they love the game. They love the game.
They want to compete. And I honestly don't think they would have voted yes if they didn't want to do it.
And they want to get paid.
Yeah, well, exactly. And there's also going to be a considerable number of players who feel obligated not to go against the grain and not to vote no because they don't want to feel for sure. And it's a shame that anyone who's voting out of that pressure, they shouldn't have to feel that pressure. There's going to be I would imagine the majority of these NHL players voted yes because they want to do this. And they took these things into consideration before voting. I hope.
Yeah. You hope.
But yeah, it's definitely important to think about like I think with the way they're going about it and not having to determine those hub cities is I'm sure the biggest reason for that is they probably have the places about picked. They probably are having a hard time figuring out where they're going to put them. How are they going to be able to? Maybe they can bring families with them.
Yeah,
ideally, if they're able, right? I don't know, but you guys want to get into some more depressing shit?
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep spiraling down, dude.
Well, and I think, this isn't a topic that we ever dodge by any means. This isn't like a conversation we ever like try to avoid. It seems to be more like coming up in the NHL of late. To be honest, I don't know why, but it is. And I don't think we like ever dodge it, but it's definitely at a point where you cannot at all avoid these types of conversations or this topic. And that is the, the ongoing dialogue and even just put it, the issue of racism in the sport of hockey and the game of hockey, not just the NHL, but the game itself as a whole. And
just inclusivity in general, more than, all race, sexual preference, all that stuff. It's
creeds, colors, and everything in between. For sure. So to shed light on the background, if you're listening to this, you obviously know what we're talking about. If you're listening to us, you're abreast to the mainstream. There's nothing else going on in the hockey world. So it's really the biggest story the past week, besides the possible return to the league. Hakeem Alou, who's no stranger to the game of hockey, we a lot of us know him from his coming outs, talking about his struggles as a young black player, and being stifled coming up as a player. He recently put out an article through the Players Tribune where he detailed a lot of that experience and how his life was growing up. I read the article. It was extremely, extremely insightful and impactful. And not to undermine it in the slightest. These stories are not uncommon. There's a lot of people who struggle like this, and it's really, really good and brave of Akeem to be the one of many to kind of say, hey, look, this is something that someone's going through. There's a lot of guys like me who have to deal with this. Here's my story.
Yeah.
And to kind of just give it a little bit to kind of summarize a lot of it, he grew up in, I believe, Germany, was it Germany or Ukraine? Somewhere Eastern Europe.
I want to say Germany, but I couldn't say for sure.
Right. So mother's Eastern European descent. And I don't want to mix up where his father's from, but his father was also was foreign to whatever country his mother's from. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Black man. So they had Akeem. So he grows up a mixed child in Ukraine or Germany. This is all the reason why this matters is because it's all relevant to his story. They moved to Canada. So he moves to Canada as a young black boy who doesn't know. He doesn't speak French, but he doesn't even speak English. Sorry, you hear me?
You froze a little bit.
Yeah.
We're back. We're good.
We're back.
The young man didn't even speak English, French. He spoke German. So he's a young black boy coming from Europe, speaking German. That's a unicorn to some of these people. They've never seen anyone like that. So he's going through a very, very difficult time. I mean, I can't put into words the way he did what he had to go through. To wrap it up and not to tell his story, you read the article if you haven't read it. He went through a lot of shit. He suffered a lot of bullying, a lot of hazing. Mm-hmm. Not uncommon for a lot of players. It's much, much more difficult when it's a race issue.
Yeah.
When it's race provoked. When racism is the backing behind it. One incident in particular where he didn't want to participate in a hazing ritual, and the next day at practice, he had all of his teeth pretty much knocked out by a stick, by Steve Downey, as he put it. No one did anything, right? No one tried to stick up for him. That to me was probably the most shocking part.
That no one stuck up for him,
and that was the result of not participating in the hazing. I mean, I've been in sports. I've never been on anything that high level of caliber athletic, but hazing's not uncommon. I'm not appropriating it. I'm not justifying it, but I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've witnessed it. I've been hazed. I've hazed people, and I've never seen it where if someone really didn't, there wasn't much where it was bad enough to where someone like couldn't really do it, or if someone really couldn't do something, the consequences of that were not going to be worse than what the thing was.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, it's just unspeakable. It's terrible to treat another person, another human being like that. And we know in this case it was much more motivated than just the not participating in the hazing. Right? There's a bigger issue there on Downey's part. So to kind of keep this mumbo jumbo, and I think it's, to be blunt, that's the reason why these conversations don't happen a lot. It's difficult. It's not easy, especially for someone like us. We're fucking goofy white kids. We don't know. We don't have the experience that these players have who are minorities and who are marginalized. We're not marginalized people. I think we can only do our best to come from a perspective of empathy, mild understanding that, we want other human beings. Well, of course that, but just on the level of wanting people to be brought up and not ever be put down regardless of who they are, where they come from, or what they believe in, or what they look like. Just fucking what they look like. I mean, it's insane. So he told his story. It hit the internet hard. Did I leave anything out there? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so. The name of the article is "Hockey is not for everyone." Correct? Just
yes.
Hockey is not for everyone.
Read it.
The Players Tribune. Definitely go read it.
Yep.
A couple people got a little backlash from it. I don't know too much about the situation. I know, Josh, you were talking about it.
So the internet did what it did. As usual, as we are now. I mean, I'm not even gonna front. White people took it on themselves to be the most vocal about everything that was said.
Of course.
Making their stances, and which of course was mostly taking the time to call out the people who didn't say enough. I mean, it was, and this is so distracting to the real issue, but it's so frustrating to me when we're trying to focus on fixing what Akeem's talking about, and I don't think people realize you don't achieve that by finding and putting in lists and putting together groups of people who aren't saying verbatim what he's saying and then tying that to not believing or agreeing with him. Like there was someone who went and reached out to the Pittsburgh PR and got a quote from them, which was like they quoted, like, we don't know how we can comment on this right now. Like, we don't know like what we can provide to this current thing. And like that quote got put out into the ether and people absolutely shitted all over Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's like, dude, like you're like, are you asking them, is racism bad? Like, what are you trying to get them to do here? Like, of course they think Akeem went through a lot of horrible stuff and they want to help anyone.
Was he in Pittsburgh's system? Is that why they asked Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Maybe was he on their ECHL affiliate?
I don't know.
I thought that was all through Calgary. I don't know. If he was, then maybe they need to say something. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to fucking say like it's not their problem. But if like, how removed does someone have to be before they just don't have to say something, or they can believe in what his they can believe in what's right without vocalizing it, I guess. And then aside from that, there were a few people who chose to. Obviously, there were some fucking assholes, but they don't matter. There were a few people who chose to make some maybe poor choice of words, poor timing choice of words, some worse than others. So at the time this came out, shortly after, two NHL players made tweets. One was Taylor Hall, the other was Robin Leonard. So Robin Leonard tweeted out just something which was kind of on brand for him, just talking about, not letting any negativity bring you down. No matter what happens, you can bring yourself up. Anything's possible through God, that kind of thing. Yeah. And people are like, yo, dude, read the room. Really bad timing, because that's not the case for everyone else, man. Some people have it harder based on other things. Yeah. And that's where you get all the fucking all the whites going, well they're black, so they have it harder. Like, doesn't that just sound racist? Like, doesn't that just like sound like doesn't that like backhandedly sound fucked up? I just hate that shit.
I know what you're saying. I definitely know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you mean. But
like, you're not them. Like, what are you like? Who are you calling them? Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, it's just so fucking. No, I
know what you mean. But Leonard's tweet did kind of. You did have to look at it somewhat because it came out hours after the article did, a couple hours. And you're just kind of like, timing. You're like, come on, man! Like,
and there's also, he's known to have a political past that lends conservative, which nowadays is pretty much you can't be conservative nowadays.
Yeah. And he's got a history of he's got some racial issues in his own past, which he himself has. I would say he's kind of like repented for somewhat. He said he's changed a lot of who he is. He's had other demons that everyone knows about. So there was a couple contextual things that went along with this tweet that I think led to Twitter coming at him for it. So
to that, you're right. Yeah, he spoke and defended himself pretty quickly. And was pretty blunt about, look, this has nothing to do with Akeem. If I was going to direct anything at anyone, I would direct it at them. Just bad timing. I mean, I think he knew that. He replied to a few folks and made his site clear. It was amazing how quickly the internet backpedaled. I mean, I saw the same people who were saying like really horrible stuff to Robin Leonard get a reply from him and then say the exact opposite thing. Yeah. And it's just like, gee, you conditionless twats. But it is what it is. Someone else who tweeted out, who I don't think has backtracked it unless I missed something and really fucked up here. Taylor Hall tweeted out like a picture of a note he got from a coach. And it was like, if I missed something, I think the note was something about like how he was like not going to make it. Like the whole note was like something like him as like when he was young and a coach told him like he didn't have he probably wasn't going to be that high of a skilled player. And then he was in his tweet, like thanking that coach for shitting on him because if he didn't get shatted on, he wouldn't have persevered, and then use that to say like youth hockey coaches are the best, and he's never had a bad coach. And that was like,
Ooh,
I'm definitely missing
paraphrasing,
but that's the gist, and that's how it came off, and that was again hours
you can't
after
say. See, I took all my shit I got, and
I've never
grew
met a bad
stronger
coach
from it. And it's like, well, it goes back to that whole. You probably had a much different experience coming up through
it just
the
doesn't
junior
look the
hockey
same,
ranks.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just doesn't
But-
look the same. So, but he didn't. I don't think he clarified it. I don't think he deleted it. I don't think he tried to say anything. So everyone's down his throat. Not a good look. Not a good time tweet, my
Yeah.
guy.
No, real bad, real poorly timed.
But
And,
to kind of back away from that, because that's not the point. It happened. It's relevant because it took place. But it's an ongoing thing. I know that Akeem spoke with Gary Bettman shortly after his original story came out. And I think and in his article he said those talks are ongoing. I think they're gonna look to do more to have minority coaches being interviewed for different coaching positions.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean you have to look at those in writing things behind policies that help promote that. Call it affirmative action, call it whatever you want, but it's important. I mean, it's absolutely important. There's a reason that talent, and that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like, oh, you have to have more minorities because they have to be represented. We're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. We're doing it because these are really, really talented people. These are important human beings that bring a beautiful thing to our game. Not just because they're black. That's great too. But they play hockey. And we're talking about hockey. This is a bigger issue, but as it refers to hockey, like these are people who are bringing great things to our game. We want these people in our game because what they do for our game. If they're black, that's great too. It's great too. But it's not written in to help these folks. It's just not. Sadly, it needs to be. Definitely. I said a lot of that like pretty shittily, like obviously, but I know that everything that we're doing here is from a place of good intent, and we're all about Akeem's message. And it's
needed, and it's important in the league right now that he is speaking out about his experience and getting it broadcasted widely.
So the game can evolve. It's not for right now. You know what I mean? It's not going to get fixed right now, but for the next set of kids coming up, the next set of young minority kids cannot ever have to feel the way he felt. So they can play this game. And so they can, in any other situations, they can do any other thing they love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I think on that note though, it's probably a good time to end it, right?
Think so, dude.
For sure.
Be good to each other.
Always.
All right?
Always.
Be good to other people. Be good to puppies. Unless they piss and shit in your house, then smack them on the ass.
Give them a good old bop on the butt.
Smack your kids. Smack your kids a little bit. It's fine. Not hard. Not in the face. Make sure they're actually doing something wrong, but smack your kids a little bit. Just kidding. Yo, Jacob.
What up, man?
Where can they get at us for child abuse?
If you want to find us, you can find us at Talkin Sauce Pod. No _. Respect the _ Cancellation Cup Season 2 draft was last night. So we have our new 5 teams. Got 3v3. Find me at JCobb, JAY_COBBB. Josh, where do they get you at?
Teebs, TABZZ.
You can get Cody, CD _2187. And Dylan, where they get you at?
Find me on Reddit, the Jew, Teabags Your Mom, 69420, lowercase x, capital X. You can find Marvin on Instagram at homozygous dominant Marvin. Check him out. Y'all have a good week.
Talk about not having your finger on the pulse, dude. Sarah Civ, No Pets Instagram pages, bro.
Come on, dude.
Stay beautiful.
Dick. Fucking dick.